Have you ever thought about what happens in the middle? Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Megan Belly, and I'm here today to talk to you about dementia and its impacts in our community. We all will know or be aware of someone who is living with dementia, maybe not now, but in the future. Today, I'd like to go over some statistics from the Alzheimer's Society of Canada, showing what dementia is going to look like going forward. Also, some types of dementia that you may see. And finally, some ways that we can help as a community for people with dementia. Faces of Dementia in Canada is a groundbreaking study done by the Alzheimer's Society of Canada. Landmark study, this is our second one, completed in 2023. And these are the statistics that they show going forward. By 2030, close to 1 million people will be diagnosed and living with Alzheimer's. By 2050, that number will go up to 1.7 million. Between 2030 and 2050, in BC alone, the number of people who are living with Alzheimer's and dementia will increase by 218%. I'd like to go through some common types of dementia. Vascular dementia usually starts with a restriction in blood flow to the brain, causing blood cells to be damaged. Creates problems with thinking and moving. Frontotemporal dementia, frontal and temporal regions of the brain are affected and can cause changes in personality, behavior, language, and movement. Lewy body dementia is the buildup of Lewy body proteins on the brain's nerve cells. People may show symptoms similar to Parkinson's and may actually also exhibit some paranoia and hallucination. Young onset dementia, any kind of dementia that is diagnosed in a person younger than the age of 65, can have many different reasons: brain injury, alcoholism, genetics, environmental toxins, and commonly presents as Alzheimer's. Mixed dementia is patients showing symptoms of any of the other types of dementia in a group. And finally, Alzheimer's dementia. This is the one that we know the most about, that we hear the most about, and that is the most prevalent in our communities today. Brain cells are damaged by the buildup of tau proteins and amyloid plaques, creating communication issues between the neurons in the brain. Causes multiple changes in brain function and mental abilities. These include thought, speech, movement, and can create a sense of paranoia. There are a few common signs of dementia that you may see. Number one, we're all aware of loss of memory. In the beginning stages, it's something that can be covered by explaining a lack of sleep or a little bit of distraction. As time goes on, it's a little bit harder to cover. Confusion about time and place, where to be and when to be and why to be in a particular location at a particular time. Sometimes an inability to concentrate. Again, it can be brushed off as a little bit of distraction. However, when we get to the middle part, sometimes mostly before diagnosis, but getting pretty close, the inability to concentrate and the ability to be heavily distracted no matter what's happening. So noises, facial expressions, anything can cause them to go off on a tangent because they can't stay focused on any one particular thing. Spatial attention begins to be off. They can be walking into doors, corners, tables, sometimes even turning into people because they're unaware of where they are in space and in time. Trouble finding the right words, and that can present itself in any of us. I certainly have had that trouble myself. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have Alzheimer's. However, when the loss of words becomes more and more frequent and the choice of words becomes less cohesive with a sentence and causes confusion and causes it to not make sense, that's typically a sign of dementia. Can exhibit mood changes can be sad, distracted. However, in order to hide their confusion, they can become highly agitated and verbally aggressive, especially if they're forced to confront the fact that they're having challenges. And these are great ways that we can communicate with dementia sufferers. So no matter what and where you come across somebody who seems to be struggling, these are all tools that we can use in our daily lives, in our community, to help people. First of all, be conversational. Chat with them, talk to them, and stay on a singular path, talking to them in a normal way. If you wouldn't talk to somebody using, hey sweetie, it's okay honey, or any kind of rise in tone or change, then that's not some way that you should be speaking to somebody who's exhibiting signs of dementia. Speak clearly and be in front of the person so that they can read your facial cues and also read your lips. A lot of people who suffer from dementia also suffer from hearing loss. Maybe diagnosed, maybe not. Use precise language and speak slowly. Don't talk about that thing over there, or look at that one, or oh look in that direction there's. You need to be very specific. So look at that bird sitting on the wire. Look at that dog crossing the street, so that they are able to pick up what it is that you're trying to communicate in a very clear manner. Use short sentences and try to vary them in a way that keeps them interesting to the person. It's not staccato, but still is easily comprehensible by them with the number of words that are being used. Only share one idea or one subject at a time to be able to keep the focus on that particular item. Be specific using names and locations. So the TD Bank at Panorama Place, located on Highway 10 and 152nd, instead of the bank that's at the mall on the busy corner. Write down instructions, one idea at a time. So you get to the corner of 152nd and Highway 10, and then you turn right, all on separate lines, so that they can follow the instructions easily and sequentially. Label items. So not just, I would like to get some milk, I would like to get some 2% milk. Label, obviously medications will be labeled. Label anything with a specific name and call it what it is. So not, I would like some licorice, I would like some strawberry licorice, called Twizzlers. And finally, and most importantly, be patient. Please remember that these are people that you are talking to, and you need to be talking to the person, not the disease. Allow them extra time to process what it is that you're saying and formulate a response that is in relation to what it is you have said. Finally, I'd like to provide you with some options and resources of places you can reach out and get more information to help you help somebody else along their journey. First and foremost is the Alzheimer's Society of Canada. They are the premier location for any information regarding Alzheimer's, diagnosis, ways to treat family and friends, and other resources for help. The Wicking Dementia Research and Education Center provides an excellent massive online course that is in 2 parts. Very good at explaining not just dementia in and of itself, but ways that dementia happens, the impacts in the brain, and ways that you can see these impacts felt in a progressive manner. And finally, Fraser Health Authority. So for us locally, Fraser Health is where we go if we need help with anything that is medical. and in this case, anything that is mental. So, and dementia is both. It's medical and it's mental. So I would reach out to them. They have excellent services. They have people who are dedicated to trying to help people themselves and also help people help people. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for your time today. It's been a fabulous way to share the information that we have, and I would like to invite you to ask any questions that you would care to. Thank you very much and have a good afternoon.